True.
Yeah, I can't really watch anyone else play.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried watching my friend play Persona 3, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, right. Like you don't want
Yeah.
to watch Persona.
Yeah.
Like,
But like, if it's like just the highlights or like a weird moment from the game, I'll watch someone play it. But I don't want to watch them do everything.
True.
right?
True.
Like they start going through the battles, and you're like, dude, I already fucking did this myself, dude. Or I could be doing this myself. Like I'm not like, you're not engaging with it in any way. You're not like, oh, like what are they gonna do next? Like in this RPG turn-based battle, like.
Yeah.
That's why all Pokemon videos have spec'd into like the fucking absurdist challenge wave, because watching someone play Pokemon has got to be one of the most boring things you could do. So it's like playing Pokemon, but my fucking ball sack is strapped to an electrocutor, and if I lose a Pokemon, it's over for me. And you're like, oh wow, I really wonder if this guy is gonna get fucking murked. And so you watch it.
Yeah. Or like the videos where they put their like entire TV in the oven and they turn it on and they're like playing through the outside and they're like, can I beat Pokemon before my TV explodes?
Dude, literally.
True, yeah. You know, like true. They have to make it enticing somehow. Being a PokeTuber must suck, honestly. Even though a game comes out almost like every like 1 to 2 years, or at least they used to. Like PokeTubers, like every single time it would, like a game would come out, and then they would like milk the game for literally everything it had for like.
Dude, they were good
God
at it
knows.
though. They were so good, or they still are, at like making unlimited amounts of content from the same material that hasn't been updated in years.
True. But like there's this one guy I followed, and during the lead up to Sword and Shield coming out and all the leaks following it, he would like one leak would be posted, and like for a whole month he'd somehow make a video about that one leak, but somehow talk about a bunch of like other shit that doesn't really matter. Like somehow bro's getting like whole 10-minute videos out of a singular leak, or like a couple leaks, or maybe there'd be one new leak and he'd go over all the past previous leaks, and like each video was just like the same video but with one more new leak included and like paraphrased from the last one. And then when the game came out, his channel became like every gym leader, every this, every that, like basically like literally by the time like a week passed, he had literally like all the content in the game covered. And then he was like, okay, like talking about Gen 10 and like when that's coming, and like early Gen 10 leaks question mark. And like, dude, they're ravenous.
True, but dude, that's like slop tuber levels of shit. Where like,
Yeah.
like a drama will come out about like let's say there's like Mr. Beast drama back when this was going on, right? First video, black and white thumbnail, Mr. Beast, his face, and it's like what Mr. Beast, or like no way Mr. Beast did this. And then you watch the video, it's covering the initial story of it. And you're like, okay, this makes sense. And then at the end, there's like extra shit. And you're like, whatever. Next video is like the Mr. Beast situation keeps getting worse. And you're like, oh shit, what happened? So you watch it. They restate everything that just happened, One Piece style, for the beginning of the video. Then they're like, okay. And like maybe like Mr. Beast is thinking of making a response. And like other people have made responses about it too, and you're like, okay, shit, like what's he gonna say? Next one is like, nobody is standing behind Mr. Beast after this one, and it's like 2 people talking in a black and white thumbnail with Mr. Beast overlaid on top of it. Same thing.
Yeah.
They're just like talking about like more people. It's now covering like sub people talking about like orbiters of orbiters talking about it, and like extra random like news at the end of other drama shit. And like they just keep milking it over and over again. Even like they've been milking the same thing. Like you could have just watched the beginning and missed nothing, but they're still going with it.
True. Honestly, true. Like, and then there's like a video that's like, oh, he finally responds. Like, hell, they even make like a closing statement video, like the end of an era, and then like they make like a retrospective video. Like a month later, like the Mr. Beast drama was wild.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like, dude.
True. But PokeTubers have got it on lock, bro. They know how to make so much content out of anything. It's admirable.
It's true. It is admirable. Honestly, like I always like being a singular thing tuber seems
Yeah.
to be like a living hell.
True. I mean, I think
Like,
it's just, okay. Everybody wants to be a YouTuber, but I think being a YouTuber would actually be so miserable to have to do that shit.
Yeah.
Because like, imagine you're living like that, and then you wake up one day, your video doesn't do well, and now you're like making no money, and you're about to be impoverished. Because you're like, what the fuck?
True.
People just aren't watching me now. And now, they don't
And
know
on
what
your
the
next
fuck to
video,
do.
you're like, hey guys, like in my last video, it didn't do so well. So, like to make sure, like you have to basically like fucking pedal on the street like a homeless man.
Like, oh my god, guys, like my videos are not getting like pushed to people's sub boxes for some reason, even though I just made like a really shitty video that nobody wanted to watch every time they looked at the thumbnail. Like, please make sure you subscribe to me. Please make sure you refresh my page every time I load every Monday.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like, there's like the type of person who like genuinely like strives on YouTube, and like I identify like, especially when they're like a single, like type of media coverage person. Like, there's this one dude who does like Sonic content on like YouTube, but like every single time he talks about like, you know, he has Q&As sometimes. You're like, man, like, you know, do you ever think about making this your full-on career, right? Because he has like fucking almost like 500,000. And he's like, no, I actually do this because like I'm having a lot of fun with it. Like I'm obsessed with Sonic and I don't feel stressed making these videos. Like I just make a video when I feel like making it, and I always feel like making videos because I'm obsessed about talking about Sonic. And like I like having a job outside of YouTube.
Real.
And so he's like, yeah, he's like, the YouTube money is very nice on top of like, you know, like having like my like normal paycheck. But he's like, I don't feel like I go home and do more work. I feel like I go home and do my hobby.
True.
And like,
okay, what do you guys think? This area is kind of weird. Okay, what do you guys think about making your like your hobby your job? Do you think that's like you've won, or do you think that's like the like time for you to get a new hobby?
I think, I don't know.
I
'Cause
feel
I-
like it depends, because like I feel like with the YouTube thing where he's like, oh, my hobby's making videos, it's like I feel like nothing really changes if you just have a normal job and like you do that on the side. But because I guess he didn't make it his job, you know, even though he gets like a lot of his income from it. But like, I don't know, I feel like for some people it's like, it depends. Like with art, do you just like doing art, or do you like doing a very specific type of art, right? You know, if you're just the type of person who's like, oh, I just fucking love drawing, I don't even care what it is, I just fucking love doing art, I don't even care, then like you probably would love art as your job. You won't fucking care what you do. They're like, oh, draw this, and you're like, fuck it, whatever. Like, I love just trying new things in art and drawing. But I feel like for a lot of people, if art
That wouldn't be
become their
trying
job-
new things though. They'd be like, okay, you're gonna be our like big mech guy. And you're like, oh, I could try that out, and then you draw like 2,000 mechs every day for the next like year.
True, but I guess like the point of like someone who just loves drawing regardless, right? No matter what it is. Like, because there's definitely people out there who are just like, yeah, I'm the dude who does this and I love it. Like, I just love drawing. And when I go home, I draw more and I draw what I want to draw. And I just draw all the time, right? Like, I draw when I'm at work, I draw when I'm at home, right? Because this is the type of person who's just like, I love art. I just love doing art. I don't care what it is. But then there's like,
in front of my kids.
I draw in front of my kids. Like, bro, but like, but like I feel like there's some people who'd be like, they'd go to a job and they'd be like, okay, draw like a mech, and they'd be like, like I kind of want to draw like furry inflation porn, but I guess I can draw a mech.
Oh boy, do we got a job for him.
Oh, like I don't want to be drawing this mech. Like I want to actually be drawing like Tenna from Deltarune. Like, oh, I don't want like they basically like they only like drawing like they draw as a hobby
Yeah.
and not as like as a thing they're obsessed with in their life, right? Like they don't. I feel like you can be into art for art's sake and you can be into art for the sake of creating things you like. I feel like those are two very different things.
Real. AJ, what do you think?
I don't know, cause I feel like they're. Uh-oh.
The bomb just ain't coming back. Go into the
It's
hole and
just
come
not
back.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh, that's not
Wow.
good.
That's gore of my comfort bomb.
It's straight up gone. What?
I'm pretty sure if you reload the area, it'll probably come back. Like next time you come here. Or maybe you just
I
have to
hope
bring a
so.
bomb
I
from
need
somewhere
that.
else.
Oh boy. Oops.
Yeah, wait, that requires a bomb. You can probably find a bomb here and then just jump back through that hole.
But like for the thing, I feel like you can keep them separate to like an extent. Like my dad, his whole thing is he really likes coding, but he does that as his job. But in his free time, he still likes to like code video games.
Yeah.
So I feel like it kind of just depends on context for some things, but for other things, yeah, I feel like you're just doing the exact same thing and it gets like boring.
That's true.
Like, I don't know. Ow.
Well, I guess that's true. I think with coding, like you can be coding something and it'll be like completely different than coding like a game. Well, it's like
Right.
if you have to like you could be, your whole job could be a translator and you can love language, but then like you can go home and learn more about a different language that you're not.
Right. Like you
Speaking-
can,
Yeah.
I think you don't, I feel like in most cases you can separate like the general thing is the same, but specifically what you're doing for work and what you're doing at home are different. Like like the context is different.
Yeah, I could see that. Unless,
Like-
okay, some people are crazy and they do this anyway, but like if your job is, or if you really like working out or like doing some type of athletic sport and then your job is like demolition and you got to be out in the hot sun all day, like lifting shit, you might not want to do that. You might be like exhausted, but some people still do it and they don't care.
That's true.
Yeah.
It definitely does also depend on the person. Cuz they might feel like it's completely different even if it's not all that different.
True.
And who are we to tell them that they're wrong?
Real. But if you guys, okay, let's say art became your guys' job, right? Would you like try to find a new hobby or would you be like, whatever, I don't care. This is my thing.
Well, I definitely like I plan to work in a ceramic studio, not exactly like sell ceramic stuff as like my career, but like I
Yeah.
plan to work in a ceramic studio at some point, and I think I forgot what my point was gonna be.
There's other
Yeah, I
art that's
forgot.
ceramics.
Oh yeah, like I feel like I would still do ceramics other than like because there's different kinds, but also I feel like I'd still do art like a lot, even if I were selling my pieces for money and stuff.
Yeah.
Cause like I mean I do ceramics for schoolwork, but outside of that I still go home and draw and stuff, and I like painting and stuff too. So I feel
Real.
like no matter what happens in my life, I'd still be doing art.
Yeah, I think that's true. Key, what do you think?
I feel like art has become like a because if I like let's say because like the thing is I do plan on going to get both a 2-year degree in art and a 2-year degree in some form of because we have a technical college here, and when you go they kind of like if you want to like have like financial like funding, you kind of have to be going for something like tech related on top of whatever else they're going for. So like they're telling me like, oh, you can go for your fine arts, but you also have to go for like, you know, anything in tech. So you can do like a 2-year and a 2-year. To get like 2 certificates, and like we can cover that. But the thing is, like, you know, I have a keen interest in technology, mostly just because like we went to like a STEM school, like one of the first. I remember they were harping on that. We went to one of the first schools to fully adopt like STEM into its main curriculum, and like I guess I'm just really used to like, you know, I'm like, okay, fuck it. Like I've done it for so long, and then when I transferred schools, they forced me to do it again because like the school that I went to was starting to do, or they wanted to transfer it into like a STEM school. They never did, mind you, because they couldn't get enough students because they were a much bigger school, right? Yeah. But they like kind of forced me into it because they're like, oh, we need to show that our students can like actually do this and also are interested. And I'm like, well, you forced me to is not really like, doesn't inspire confidence. But I was basically like, man, you know, I kind of want to just do like graphic design and character design for people, like especially down here, the Cancer Research Center was looking. There's a lot of like cases of people looking for like, oh, we want character designers for ads and stuff, and for like, you know, those weird little pamphlets and stuff. Like since I've been job searching, I've realized that like that's probably where a lot of artists get their money, is like through these weird odd jobs. Like for like just in places you wouldn't ever expect them to like get money from. Like again, like a cancer research place needs like a character designer, right? And I want to do that, like on top of like doing programming stuff, because I'm making a game now. I've like programmed websites before. I've done 3D engineering, like, and all that. I feel like if I got a job like that, like, oh, I'm designing characters or making logo. And then I'm gonna just go home and draw more, because that's just what I do, is I draw things. Like that's how I feel like whenever I'm doing my like the game. It's like, you know, like I never feel like, oh, I don't want to draw like anymore because I already drew so much for the game. I'm just like, I just happen to draw and now I'm drawing for the game, right? And then when the game's done, I'm just gonna draw mostly normally again. And like, I don't know, I don't feel anything way about it. It's like I'm doing what I always do. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't care.
Oh, this guy keeps trying to sneak in. Get out of here. Batty.
Patty.
What do you call him?
How about you, James? What if video making was... What if streaming was your job?
That's crazy.
Well,
I
guess
back
like that
just
one
in time. So what if I missed everything you said? So what if streaming or video making was my job?
Yeah,
I would quit.
Like, you quit? Okay.
Dude, that's like, okay, this is why I stopped making videos. I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but like, this is why I stopped making videos. Like all those, I used to be like, I'm gonna upload a bunch of videos, and I wanted to make every video better than the last, right? But how do you gauge a video on how good or bad it is? What do you guys think?
If I'm the one producing it for other people, I don't really know.
I would prefer producing it for other people.
Yeah, so like, but like you are producing it for other people. You make a video, other people watch it.
Well, I guess if I was doing it for a job, yeah, but I guess you're right. I would never want to do it for anyone else.
But like, if you think about it, right? How you can't ever guess, you can't ever like objectively say something is better or worse. The only thing you can gauge is how people liked it or if they didn't, right? Or if it made a lot of money or if it didn't, right? So you can make a video that is objectively great but nobody watches it, doesn't get a lot of marketing, you know, whatever. It's just not the right audience. And people, it just does poorly, doesn't make a lot of money, doesn't get a lot of people watching it, whatever metric you want to view. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, I failed, right? But in reality, you didn't, right? So I think doing it as a job, you're just fucked. You're fucked. You either do it. I mean, I could totally do it as a job for money, but it would drain the soul out of me. And I would not want to do it at all.
True. This is to be true.
But yeah, I think, okay, I'm black pilled in this take. You guys can agree or disagree with me in this, but I think that if you're doing like something like creative or some type of art or something, you have to go 100% with like whatever you want and nothing else that anybody else wants, because nobody knows what they want. And even if they told you, if you did it exactly like how they asked, they'd be like this isn't what I thought at all, and they would not like it. So the only person you can really, you can think that whatever way you want, but I think this is the case. And I think if you try making everything for other people, then you're gonna end up miserable, because people don't know what they want and all that shit. So I think you just kind of have to do everything the way you want to. And that's it.
Yeah, real. I agree with everything you just said.
That's obviously very difficult to do and make money off of, though.
Yeah.
But
like, I would rather like eat a fork before I like if it came to like my own personal art, like if I was just making art online and that's what paid the bills, like, bruh, I'm going bankrupt.
yeah.
Like, if I wanted to draw something and everyone fucking hated it and I stopped making money, I just would not care.
Yeah.
I just straight up just would not care.
Real. Okay, but here's the thing, though. Then you have to get into like, why do you want money to begin with? Well, the obvious reason is you want money because then you don't die, right? And if you're poor and then you're homeless and then you die alone and cold, right? But let's say you're making like $25,000 a year. That's enough to buy like a small, like depending on where if you're in New York, you're fucked. But like let's say you're in an area where you can, that covers like eating like grains and nothing else, and like living in a 1-bedroom apartment and paying for electricity and internet and shit, right?
Yeah.
What? Okay. From that point, what does money give you?
Nothing.
Well, it gives you more luxury, right? You can get more luxury items and you can feel a little bit more comfortable. All right. So you could say, so let's say after like 50K, then what? What do you get from going like 50K to 100K a year?
Nothing.
Well, you could get like more houses and more cars. But if you don't value that, then yeah, it's nothing.
Dude, I'm gonna be like, I think. Well, here's the thing, right? Because I've talked to my mom before, right? And I've well, yeah, okay, but I've brought up to her that like sometimes I get worried about like, man, what's the future gonna be like? You know, like, am I gonna have enough money? Yada yada yada. But then I realized. I was telling her like, well, I worry about it a lot. And then she's like, well, like, do you think like you won't have your friends? I'm like, no, I don't think they really care regardless. Like, as long as I'm living and like surviving somehow decently. You know, like, do you think you want one of us? And I'm like, nah, not really. Like, I mean, we've been dirt broke together. And then she was like, then why does it actually matter? And I'm like, yeah, no, I guess not. Right? And that was like a while, like a long time ago. And ever since then, I genuinely, like, because I started thinking about, like, what do I actually care about? Right? You know, in life. And then I started realizing, man, I only care about just having a good time with, like, people I want to have a good time with. And, like, everything else is kind of null and void to me. Like, genuinely. Like, my older brother keeps going on about how like one day he's gonna have like a pool. My brother's kind of fallen for like the trap where it's like he wants a pool, he wants like those cars, he wants a giant house because those are the things we didn't have growing up, right?
Yeah.
And that's what wealthy people have. And then a lot of people, like my uncle Titus, he has all those things and he's a deeply unhappy person. No, Titus. he has all these things and he's deeply unhappy. And I've said this to my dad's side of the family before, like he and a lot of you are just like really shallow people, right? Like, cause like
Bro,
I
he's
always have
not
arguments.
gonna like that.
Well, yeah, well, cause we always get in arguments like, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna do art. And like, that's not gonna make a lot of money. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I want to be happy. I don't want to be rich, you know? Like if I'm poor, but I live until I'm like if I can make ends meet, like paycheck by paycheck until the day I'm fucking 90 and die, then that's a good life to me.
I guess invisible
like-
people in your base.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god, dude, they
I
learned
just have to kill
technique.
them. Where'd they go?
I think they deeply
They're in here
disagree with this
somewhere.
because they're like, oh,
Yeah, okay.
like
Well,
they're-
here's the issue
the-
with this, right? Because this is the same thing I asked. Like, I've been trying to tell my mom and my sister this a long time, and eventually I just give up, and I'm like, whatever. But like, if you tell someone this, like, if you tell someone like, hey, at some point, like, if you had everything you wanted, like, if you were rich and you were living in a mansion and you had all this shit, you would not be happy. They cannot fathom this idea because everything that makes them unhappy right now can be solved with money. If you are like, oh man, I'm really fucking hungry, but I'm poor and I can't afford like any food, having $1 million would make you very happy because then you could get food. If you are homeless and you don't have a house, having $1 million would make you like really happy because now you have somewhere to live, right? So telling them like,
Yeah.
hey, if you had this, you would not be happy. It's just fundamentally not going to connect with them.
True, and I think, and I get that too. Again, because it's like, yeah, that association with the thing, like money fixes my problems, and money also gets these things, like all the luxury things, and therefore luxury equals happiness. But like, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, and again, like you're right. I was telling them like, hey, like I could literally own no furniture and just have what I need to create my art, and as long as I get fed anything by the end of the day, honestly, and get to make art, and I have a nice place to sleep, like hell, even if it's just like a mattress on the floor, I'm good. I'm generally good. Like the standards of what keeps me happy are not low because I don't think I deserve more, but because I don't really desire more, right? Because like, you know, I have healthy relationships with people I care about, and I have healthy relationships with myself, and like this upsets them deeply. Like, you know, like they're like, oh, you're just unambitious and lazy.
Oh my
and
god,
I'm like,
why are they all in here, dude?
and the thing is, like,
I was gonna
Like,
say
I was
like,
telling, like-
the reason why is because not to get like societal, but like in our society,
yeah,
if you're successful, you got a lot of money. Because like then if you have a lot of money, you can solve every issue pretty much, right? And there are definitely
Yeah.
things like if you have more money, you can send your child to better schools. You will just experience less hardship. You will be able to afford better medical care. All this type of shit, right, that people value. And you can put on paper, right? But you can have all this and be really unhappy, and people don't realize that. But in a capitalist society, surprisingly, people appreciate money quite a bit.
yeah. I remember telling, like, I remember my dad was sulking one time, and I told him, like, man, you need hobbies. You generally don't do anything. Like, and he's like, well, I
Bro,
have
he's
hobbies.
not
I
gonna
collect
like that one, bro.
Well, he was like, I have hobbies. I collect shoes. I'm like, collecting things is not really
Why
a
did he
hobby.
throw me in there?
Well, at least not a full hobby. Well, that's the thing. Like, I was telling him, like, collecting shoes isn't a hobby. Collecting the hats that you collect isn't a hobby. Collecting clothes isn't a hobby. Working on your car that you only, like, on that, like, broken down car you have is not a hobby. Because he got, like, a sports car, right? That was, like, an old one. And he, like, works on it. And, like, I'm like, that's also not a hobby because you don't do that. Like, you want a decked out sports car. You just got, like, a bust up one that's really old and are trying to fix it because you want a cool sports car. That's not a hobby. That's you trying to chase a desire. Like, I was basically just telling him, like, you have no hobbies. You don't read. You don't walk. You don't exercise. Like, all you do is come, like, hell, you don't even engage with sports in a genuine way. You only care about sports because other people care about sports, and you're trying to just be sociable, right? And you barely keep up with it even then. You're not even religious. You keep keeping religion because your family does, and you and you're scared of going to hell. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like I was just telling him, like, you don't have hobbies, you don't like doing anything, straight up, and that's why you're kind of resentful. And like, cause again, I was telling him, like, you know, cause like we're having like a big like falling out at this time, and every single conversation we had was argument. I was telling him, like, the reason why I can never like him, the reason why we are always at odds, is because everything I do upsets him, and everything everyone does upsets him, because he cannot fathom, like, cause from where I come from with my mom and like with you guys, and like the people I know do things in service of their happiness, right, and still pursue like money and stuff in their life. And everything you do, like, you get mad when people eat the things they want and do the things they want and have fun because you believe, like, again, like, you know, he told me, like, you believe that fun comes later in life when you have enough money to do it, instead of realizing you're just wasting your life, right? And he didn't really say anything to me, and nor did I don't think he took anything. Like, I thought he'd take it to heart. Like, he didn't say anything. Usually has a lot to say, but he didn't. But he never really did anything with that. And like,
I don't know if people can change that late into their life.
Yeah, true. I mean, 100% they can't.
Not usually, anyway.
I feel like I would.
Well, especially not with that type of personality. Well, again, like, it depends on the personality. Like, not when you have like a personality that leans on having a huge ego and like on narcissism.
True. I think if you're always like open-minded and you like admit when you're wrong, I think you can change how whenever old you are. But at some point, like, if you haven't learned that by the time you're like 25 and your brain hardens, I think you're fucked.
Oh yeah.
True. I do think that's just like that's the differentiating thing, is like just being able to, like,
You have to be able before you get old enough
for it to just not be in your capabilities anymore. Like, I think literally you can be as bad as possible in, you know, in a general sense. And the one thing you need to be able to change at any point in your life is, at some point in your life, you need to realize that, like, I can be humble enough and like swallow my pride enough to admit when I am wrong and not feel shame in that, right? And because that's the only thing you need. That's the only thing you need. And the moment you don't have it, right? The moment you're too prideful and too stubborn and like to admit something like that, the more it becomes impossible. Because I feel like for a lot of these people, it's like, then it invalidates like their whole life. Like, if you're 50, if you're getting to 50 and your whole life you've just been this arrogant, egotistical, narcissistic person who's just lived an unhappy life, right? At that point, admitting that you're wrong, that the way you've lived is wrong, is basically saying like you wasted your life. And people don't want to like face that, right? Like, you know.
True. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. One time I told my mom that, like, this is like the only time my mom has gone like genuinely angry at me. Was like,
yeah.
I was like, okay, not to hate on my mom, right? I usually never talk about my family stuff, but she was like, oh, I can't wait to retire and all this type of stuff. Then I'll like be able to do whatever I want. And I was like, you can do whatever you want right now. And then she's like, maybe that's easy for you to say, because like, and even at the time I was working like crazy amounts, right? I was working like even more than her. I was working 7 days a week and she was working 5. And she was like, it's easy for you to say because, like, you know, you got everything taken care of for you and everything. And I was like, okay, you can say that, but like when you retire, you're going to have fun for like a month and then you're going to have nothing to do with your life and you're going to have no idea what to do. And then you're going to realize that you have like no time left because you only have like 30 more years left to live. And then she got like really upset.
True. Well, yeah. Well, okay. See, this is crazy because this is the same mom who, when your sister demanded to go to Disney out of the blue, just randomly took time off from work to go to Disney with her.
True.
Or like would literally bring her anywhere at any time.
Okay, this is true because this isn't because she enjoys doing things that are happy and like give her things like that. It's just because she will do whatever my sister says.
Well, true, but what I mean is, all the time that she spent, I don't know if it's still, but like appeasing your sister is literally just free time to do literally anything.
That's
she
true.
wants.
She still does this. Yes.
Like, you know, yeah, like that's my thing. Like you do have a lot of free time
That's what I'm
usually.
saying.
And if not, then you can obviously like squeeze out space for it. You can create time you didn't know you had.
Okay, trying to tell her this
Yeah.
like incited a crazy long argument. Like even just that concept, which you guys have made from not even living with this person, but understanding like a pico sliver of the situation, was enough to like completely like I never even got her to admit this, because she was like, no, well, when I come home
Yeah.
I'm tired, and on the weekend I'm tired, so I'm not gonna be able to like do anything there.
No, dude, I have the same conversation with my mom. My mom's like, I never have free time. And I'm like, didn't you work like 40 hours in a single weekend and now you have 5 days off? And she's like, well, yeah, but after working those 40 hours in a single, or like, cause you know, she did like the 8 shift to 8
Yeah.
shift to 8 shift to 8 shift, right? You know, and she makes like a bunch of money because she's doing like overtime. Like she's doing so much time at the beginning of the week,
Yeah.
right? That she doesn't have to work for the rest of the week. So she has like 4 to 5 days off. Right? So I
Yeah.
asked her, like, don't you have 4 to 5 days off? And she's like, oh, well, I'm tired. Right? I'm like, yeah, for like the first day.
Yeah.
Right? But like, no one, no matter how old you are, needs, like let's even get crazy with it. Like, you don't need more than like 12 hours. Hell, let's say your sleep is constantly getting disrupted. So then you get like, you need 24 hours for some reason. Hell, let's say you have some medical condition and makes sleep less effective. Here, fine, 2 whole days of sleeping, right? Hell, maybe even 3, and you only have 1 of those 4 days left, right? At some point, you're no longer tired. You're tired and feel sick from sleeping too much,
Yeah.
right? And your body, like, because that's the thing, you're training your body to like, again, I'm not saying you don't get old and decrepit, but at the same time, like, I feel miserable and like I can't get up after sleeping more than like 10 hours because it's like, oh shit, like my body, like this is not good for me, right? Like you basically train your body to be like, okay, at the beginning of the week we go crazy, and then for the rest of the week we usually just lay down and sleep here. So that's what we're gonna do all the time. But it's not just that, it's a mental thing, right?
True.
For a lot of these people, what they do is like they work these awful like excruciating, like excruciatingly bad jobs. Like some of these jobs actually generally do suck. Then they go home, sleep existence away, and then immediately when they wake up, they have to face like cold hard reality again of their job, right?
Yeah.
So basically, they didn't actually get 4 or 5 days off, or any days off. Even if you just have 2, you don't actually get the weekend off. You slept it away, and so in your own perception, the only thing that exists is your work, right?
True.
Your brain doesn't perceive anything else. You're asleep, right? You've just like people live their lives in a way to where like consciously they're technically at their job
Holy shit.
24/7
Quadruple mirror.
every
Sorry.
day.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, and I was telling my mom this. I'm like,
Mega shield?
This is what.
I'm not saying you're
This is what
just
Iraq is gonna do to Israel.
tired.
Bro.
I'm not everyone.
Iran,
That's not
bro.
even true. Not even true because they
Um,
already did a peace treaty or whatever.
But,
Alright,
like,
continue.
Uh,
Holy shit, that was so much damage.
Oh my god. Everyone, I was telling my mom, like it's understandable that you're tired. I'm sure it's hard for you to sleep. You're chronically ill too. Like all these reasons. Like I get why you sleep for a day or 2 at a time. That's completely fine. But I was telling her, like, I feel like a part of your problem and your stress and like the reason why like you're having troubles is not because of all of like the non-time you have. It's that when you do have free time, you're spending it doing things that don't actually make you feel fulfilled in life. Like every single time you're on your phone for hours, you could be like picking up a new hobby, you know, like maybe coloring or something.
Dude, you
Like, you know,
can't. I swear to God, I've tried this. I don't know why, but this doesn't work. One Christmas, I got my mom like a full painting set because she wants to paint a lot. And I got my sister a full like $300 like piano keyboard. And they both have
Yeah.
not used them a single time for like over a year and a half.
Bro.
I was like, fuck it, bro. Like, I'll give you everything. I'll supply, because they're like, oh, I don't have the money to do this, and I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'll buy it for you, right? And I didn't even like give them I'm like, hey, here's your present. And they're like, oh, this is very thoughtful, and then they never used it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Okay, the worst part is you're like, well, I don't have time to read. I don't have time for anything. Okay, fucking 10 minutes before you go to sleep every day, like read like read one page of a book, and they're like, no, sorry.
True. No, yeah. Like they like, and the thing is like, and then like I always again, I remember there's a point where like when I first came back to my mom's, I was completely unemployed for like a few months, right? And whenever I'd have this conversation with her, she's like, well, you don't have
yeah, you're unemployed, motherfucker. Sorry. You have nothing
you're
to sit on. We killed him.
She choked him.
He's dead.
I'm sorry, no, I started laughing so hard, like I threw my head back and my headphones flew off. like you're unemployed, motherfucker. The end. Checkmate. Yeah, dude, real and true. No, because it's like, the thing is, like, my mom's like, well, like, you can spend all day long doing whatever the fuck you want, and like, you don't gotta do anything or worry about anything.
Like, she
And I
doesn't
told
get
my mom,
5
look,
days to do the same thing.
true. And like I told my mom straight up, like, hey, like, I spend 80% of my day doing nothing. And she's like, oh, I'd love, like, yeah, good for you. And I'm like, no, not good for me. It means I don't have anything to do. I'm miserable being unemployed. I don't like that's the thing. That's another thing with people.
True. They
I always
assume it's like first of all, they assume you want to be.
True, right?
Second of all, they're like, oh, it must feel so good. Like, no, I feel useless and worthless, and like I'm not contributing anything, not just to myself or society, but I feel like I have absolutely nothing to do ever. Like, there's no reason.
I'm bored. I feel miserable. My body wants to do things.
Yeah, I feel like
I
I'm
have
not
nothing to
contributing
do
to my
like,
family or myself. Like, oh shoot, what the heck?
Like, there's only so long I can do my hobbies until I'm done with them for the day. Like, working is an essential part of life. Like, I was basically trying to be low key with her. Like, low key, like it ain't like the time thing isn't really the problem. Like, that's not the problem aspect of this. Like, it's not like the thing, right? Regardless, and like the thing is, like, I remember I was telling my mom, like. I have, like, cause she's like, oh, I have worked like 40 plus hours before, like 50. And I was like, I've worked 60-hour weeks before and still got my hobbies in. And she's like, but then there's always an answer for everything. You know, moms are always right. You know,
because you're young. Yeah, I fucking knew it, bro. Bro, I already know the flowchart, bro. I already know the flowchart. I've experienced it before. I've played these games before.
Yeah, because I was like, yo, back when I was in Colorado Springs, literally for a whole year and a half, I was working 60 hours a week and still doing things, right? You know, even though I was on the brink of exhaustion, it's like, oh, you're young, right? And I'm like, no, when I get old, I'm not gonna stop because I refuse to, like. Or like I'll be like, or she'll be like, oh, well, I have chronic illness. I'm like, Mom, I'm pretty sure I'm chronically ill. Or she's like, oh, I have anxiety and I have ADHD. I'm like, Mom, I have Asperger's and I was literally about to be diagnosed with clinical depression and anxiety back in Sierra Vista, but I never did a follow-up appointment. Like, I'm pretty sure I am also riddled with a million problems. You probably gave me your lupus. Like I don't know. The thing is, like, my eyesight, she's like my eyesight's bad.
Bro,
my eyesight's bad.
Know.
My body's broken. Like, well, she knows my eyesight's bad. She knows I need glasses. But I just don't. Well, I just don't get them. I don't know. Like,
dude, he doesn't want to look sophisticated.
True. Well, like, the thing is, like, I just don't have the money for it.
That's true. One day we're gonna get you glasses and we're gonna force you to wear them. We're gonna super glue them to your face.
Well, that's the thing. Every single time I'm like, oh, I need to fix things about myself. It's like, oh, I need to fix my lupus that I probably have, and then I need, like, at first I need to get diagnosed with it, and then get it fixed, and then I need to probably get a bunch of shit fixed with my eyes, and then I fucking have a fucking split tooth because I got punched in the face one time, and I probably need that extracted because it keeps cutting up my mouth, right? Because it's all sharp, right? And then like I have a fucking like ingrown toenail that keeps coming back, and my ankle healed improperly because like I got a work-related injury, and like, bro, like
Real.
it's crazy. And then I'm just like, fuck it. Like, I will persist until the day I die, so it doesn't matter.
True. I think you can figure it out, though.
True.
How do you know you have lupus? If you're on House MD?
Oh. No.
Sorry.
No, I get it. I get this
I
one.
asked my own. I answered my own question. Okay. But how do you actually know that if you have lupus?
Basically, all the symptoms that like my mom was exhibiting that like let her know she had lupus and got it taken care of. When I got older, around like, I think around like 15, 16, when like signs start showing more prominently, I immediately started having like nostril clogs constantly, like to like an extreme degree. And then I was like, oh no, I'm just probably having a really bad like sick time, you know. But the thing is, as I kept talking to my mom, she's like, oh yeah, before I had my like tonsils removed or whatever the fuck, like my nose would always get clogged, my ears would always get stuffy to the point I'd barely be able to hear, like my jaw always hurt. Like lupus is crazy.
Yeah.
But she said getting her tonsils removed actually just made it worse for
Ooh.
her. Like she can like breathe now, but like it made all her other conditions worse. Because another thing is like your whole body, it's like a whole like your skin like aches, like just there's just a general pain that crawls across your skin. Like you just feel pain at all times for no reason. Like, and then I was telling my mom, like, oh well, that sounds like my nose is constantly getting clogged. And I always feel congested, and my body always crawls with pain that's persistent and never ends. And then she's like, oh, that's exactly what I feel. But mine got like 10 times worse after getting my tonsils removed. And like, I don't even know why they do the tonsil thing. I guess because some people just want to tank the physical pain.
Does
they don't
lupus
like being
originate from the
congested.
tonsils, or like what? Why do they remove it?
I don't know. I generally don't know. I haven't looked into why they do it. I was just like, fuck, they just removed the tonsils. Like I don't know how it goes from the tonsils to just being an entire bodily problem. Lupus just sounds evil, right? And like the thing is like,
Okay, tonsils are not typically removed as a primary treatment for lupus itself. However, in some cases, individuals with lupus may experience recurring tonsillitis or other related issues that could necessitate a tonsillectomy. The lungs, lupus primarily affects the immune system. Tonsils are part of that system. The relationship is not a direct one where tonsil removal is a standard treatment. Okay, so I guess like it's just if you get tonsillitis a shitload, they're like, fuck it, rip them out.
yeah. But the thing is, yeah, no.
Or my tonsils are
like-
hurting whenever you say this.
Oh man, but yeah, no, like generally, like I was like, man, I'm exhausted. Like I'm constantly having like pains, especially in my joints, right? Like my skin is always just fucking like just basically screaming for no reason. Like and the thing is like, but mine isn't as bad as my mom's. Like that's the thing, it's the fatigue part that really was like gave it away. Because like I'll be like, man, you know what? I've rested like an hour or like 2, right? And then I can't sleep. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do anything. And after 10 minutes, I'm like, oh, I'm exhausted again. I'm gonna sleep again. And I sleep for 8 hours. And I do anything, and then I'm like immediately exhausted again. Like it doesn't matter how much I sleep, I'm always exhausted. So I just decided that like it doesn't matter how much I sleep because I'm going to feel this way no matter what.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I made the choice of like, if I have lupus, and this is the reason why everything I do ever feels like I am dragging my body around and I am exhausted and in pain, then there is literally no point of me doing this, but like instead being in bed. Like I might as well just get up and like, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm gonna get older and my lupus is gonna fucking like, fucking
Why did he swarm on me?
its mega evolution and I'm going to be crippled. But like, right now, it's fine.
Is lupus curable? No.
I don't. Okay, well.
There's no cure for lupus, but medicines are available to help you manage it. Being physically active and making your lifestyle changes can help manage your symptoms.
And there it goes.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, because I was telling my mom, like, I was like, I feel like her sleeping and staying in bed all the time only makes the problem worse. And I
Probably.
didn't know that being physically active makes lupus better, right?
That's like everything.
But I was
now.
like, yeah, but I was like, sleeping in bed for like days on end cannot be good for your body. Like, your body needs to be like actually killing itself.
It's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, this is the method. This is the people 30 and 40 plus who hate their life method.
Yeah, but here's the possibility. Do you
crazy.
think that we only think the way we do because we are men and we do not have the added problems of being a woman?
I don't know how this necessarily correlates, but maybe. I don't know. I guess I'm not a woman. So
Well,
I don't
because
know.
I'd assume like my mom's lupus is also because like in women it causes like extra bleeding and like a bunch of other fucked up shit in like eternally.
Well, I'd like to
and, like,
imagine
maybe-
that if I was anyone, including a woman, I would still be the same, and I wouldn't be completely like a victim to my body, right? But maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, I think the issue is though, if you want to make it your excuse, then it is your excuse, right? If I wanted to be like, oh my god, like I'm fucked up and I have like extra strong, like everything because I'm a woman, then I'd be like, well, fuck it, can't do anything because of it. Like I'm just forced to be in this miserable life, so fuck it, you know, I'm fucked. But if I was like, no, I will succeed because of this, in spite of this, then I think it'd be fine. The shit would probably just hurt a lot more, but I think you'd be able to keep going.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think like again, I preference this all with the fact that like I have not and will not ever be able to experience what it's like to be
Okay,
biologically
motherfucker,
a woman.
my mom it has the same shit, right? Where she has the same excuses that your mom gives. My mom don't even got lupus, bro. So how is
This
this
is
the
true.
case?
This is true.
This is
This
like
is
the
the fact.
nature versus nurture argument, but like there are some people who go through the same shit as people who became serial killers and they just don't kill people.
Yeah. I guess like yeah, I mean my take on it is like I feel like if we were to blow off my leg, I'd be like, well, that's just changed my entire life. Like now I just gotta live without one leg. Like this is just what this is now.
Yeah. People adapt to losing a limb pretty quickly, apparently. Like people's happiness and overall like well-being is relatively the same like a month after losing a limb. Surprisingly.
True. I mean, the extra assistance, as little as it may be, is probably also helps.
That's true. But I think like mentally the mind is probably like fucked up for a little bit, but then after a little bit it's like designed to be like, oh, whatever, we can still live. Like who cares?
Is it bad that like I feel like if I did lose my limb, I'd kind of like I think I wouldn't freak out. I just feel more like, wow, okay, well fuck. Well, because like I know I feel like I don't know I don't know if I would describe it as agitation. Like it's the same thing. Like you know, okay, oh, I'm going to the DMV and there's like a line of 50 people somehow, and it's like, but like my things due and I have to be here. Like I have no other choice.
Yeah.
It's like oh, like man. Like, I feel like that's all I'd have to get past before I'd just be fine with it. I just feel like, okay, fuck, damn, like, I feel like I'd be more angry. Like, if it was someone's fault, I feel like I wouldn't really care more about. I'd care less about my leg being gone and more about like, or the whatever limit was. I'd be more like upset at the person who did it. Like, I'd be like, no, like, this cannot be let slid.
What
Well,
if one of your friends like got you into a car accident by accident? And then like
By
your
accident.
limb came off.
I think, okay, even if someone like willingly like sawed off my arm and they're like, oh shit, my bad, I'd be like, oh, whatever the fuck, like now I gotta deal with this shit. Like, it didn't really matter about them, now I just gotta deal with it because it's off. I'd be more upset if someone tried to do it and like I stopped it. Then I'd be like, what the like, genuinely, what the fuck do you think you're doing? But if it's already off, then I'm like, well, fuck, now I gotta deal with it.
Dude, I don't know, like, I think like if my friend crashed a car and I lost like a limb that way, first of all, if I was still conscious and they're in the passenger seat or not in the passenger seat, in the driver's seat and they were still conscious, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't even be focusing on the limb that I know would have to be amputated. I'd be looking at them and say nothing. I'd just be giving them a look of like, you motherfucker, dude.
What if they were hit by someone else?
Then it's like, we're in this together. Well, I don't know what he would say, but I'd be like, oh, that's fucked up, bro.
I wouldn't be mad at them, but I'd tell them not to talk to me if they tried to.
What? But it wasn't even their
Dang.
fault.
No, I'm not mad at them. I'm just like,
You're just in shock and you need to be left alone.
no, because then I'm going to extrapolate how it's their fault and be
Oh.
mad at
Why
them.
do you think it's their
Yeah.
fault? It's not. Okay, imagine you're like driving like normal. Everything's chill,
Mhm.
and then they get like T-boned by another car, just like going completely sideways on a vertical street. And there was no way, neither of you saw it.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just be angry. I'd just be mad. I'm gonna be real. There's no reasoning behind it. I would just
What if
be
they got?
angry.
What if they got fucked up? Why is the sword called Bastard? I guess Bastard Sword. Okay, why
I don't
did
know,
they?
but this guy's name is Gucci. So
True. Okay, but Key, what if what if you lost one arm and they lost like both their legs and their arm?
Well, now the anger would be replaced with pity.
But you wouldn't be upset at them?
dang.
I wouldn't be upset at them, because how could I be upset with someone with one hand?
What if you guys both lost each one of your legs? Like each you guys both lost one leg each.
I feel camaraderie.
Okay. These answers are kind of crazy.
Well, I'm being honest with you.
That's fine.
If we each lost a limb, I'd feel camaraderie with them. Like, okay, well, we're both losing a limb together. This is kind of like a cute little moment. Like, we're gonna both be amputated together. Like, there's like a story we could tell. Like, oh, the day we both lost one of our limbs. Especially if it was like opposite legs or opposite arms, it'd be like, yo, we kind of like match or like upset. Like, but if they lost nothing and I lost something, I'd just be like, ugh, we're driving the car, dude. Like,
You
You'd
were
take-
driving the car.
What if you were driving the
Like-
car and someone came out of nowhere, hit you, neither of you saw it, and the friend lost a limb and you didn't? Would you be upset or what?
I would get out the if I was able, I'd get out the car and start like kicking the windshield of the person who
You're
crashed
unconscious.
into us.
The person who crashed into you died.
Oh, and it'd feel a lot better then.
Okay. Okay, never mind. Let's say you're unconscious and the other person's still alive.
I'm sorry. You guys' reactions kill me.
It would feel a lot better then.
I mean, that's like valid though. I mean, I wouldn't feel that way. I'd probably just feel devastated.
Yeah, I'd be like, what is he doing? He went around and
Everything
he
around
killed
me.
himself to injure someone else
A
for no reason.
genocide.
Yeah.
Well, like a wave of like, oh, at least he paid the price.
Well, like, it doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter.
It does.
You don't know this
It
guy.
does.
I know.
He's
Me.
dead. Someone you don't know is now dead. Just like what happens every like fucking.
Oh, I know them
second
very
of
well.
every
They're the
day.
motherfucker who crashed into me.
Yeah, but now you don't have an arm, and you only know them because of the damage they've dealt to you. What? Okay, Imagine you spawn
now
in one
they're-
day and they're like, sorry, we had to cut off your leg. You got like fucking lambridosis. And you're like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, oh, I don't know, but like it's a new disease that came through and we had to cut it off your arm. You wouldn't know anything about it other than that it took off your arm.
And I'd be like, damn, fuck, I guess I had lambridosis or whatever the fuck.
And they're like, it's
I don't
cured.
know.
And then let's say like it's like you open the news and it's like lambridosis is now clear. It's like it's all cured. Like, would you be upset at lambridosis or no?
No, because I'd have a cool prosthetic hand.
No, you don't. You're not allowed.
I'm just not allowed to have a prosthetic.
Nope.
Fuck it then.
Would you be upset?
I mean, they didn't know. I mean, it's a disease. What if I'm gonna beef with a disease?
Okay, you're gonna beef with a dead person?
What? No, because that person was a person who was alive. Oh, I'm not beefing with them because the beef is over because they died, and that's what it like. It's like, oh, we've settled it. You're dead. Like,
Okay.
like you died, I didn't. Like,
But you lost your arm.
yeah, but like I
They don't have
definitely
to deal
got
with
out.
A small price to pay
A small price to
for
pay
the
for
death of
them.
the man who hit me.
Well, yeah, it's like, dude, I'm alive. Life is the most valuable thing, and now they're dead.
What if you got hit the next day and you lost your other arm and the other person also died?
I wouldn't really be. I wouldn't feel really anything at that point. I wouldn't even really care that the other person died. I'd be like, wow, man, I just have really bad luck. Like, I should probably stop getting into like. Then it would just become like a whoa. Like this is like being struck by lightning twice. I'd just be like, man, that's, huh? Like I don't have arms no more.
True.
I'd get into running. That changed my life. Like I'd probably have an epiphany. Like I need to start running. Like I need to be a runner or something. Like I
True.
can't do art anymore. I gotta run. I need to run or tap
You
dance.
can learn to draw with your feet, though.
True. With your mouth.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Oh,
Not that I couldn't. I just would choose not
you
to.
just wouldn't, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Weird. Well, I think we learned a lot.
I think we
Yeah.
did. Oh. Oh.
Also.